All right, now finally, strap on your VR goggles because we're going on a brilliant scooter ride with sidecar, scooter with a sidecar. This is in the Indonesian city of Yogyakarta, and it's designed by this person.
I made many designs and got a welder to create a sidecar that would be easy to access.
So there you are, you can hear the sound of that scooter with its sidecar whizzing along the colourful streets, and you're looking around as you go because this is an immersive experience. It's 360-degree video. That and many others like it are on show at the moment at Singapore's Art Science Museum. So you can take in the streets of Yogyakarta as you heard there, but you can also do other VR, AR, 3D printed, Internet of Things related stuff. It's all going on at MeshMinds 2.0 Art X Tech for Good. And as the team was gearing up to open the show, I caught up with Vasey of MeshMinds.
So the key focus is in goals 11 to 15. Those are the ones that are focused on our planet. We look at sustainable cities, we look at responsible consumption and production, we look at ocean pollution, all of these things, life below water, life on land. So that's the key focus for most of the projects, but we do have a couple of projects that we've done on differently able people, and disability doesn't have a particular goal, but it pervades many, many different goals. So we've done 2 360 VR films with Our Better World, our digital storytelling partner, and we go into the worlds of a person who is based in Yogyakarta, who was in a wheelchair from when he was young. And when, instead of sitting around going, oh, what shall I do with my life? He started a wheelchair taxi service that is today the only one that serves the whole of Yogyakarta. And he's in a wheelchair himself. I mean, how inspiring is that story? But yet now you can delve into his world and you can see all around you as you're there. It's all of the goals in a way, in some way, but the main focus is on the environmental ones this year.
Yeah, one of your artists considers what Singapore will look like tomorrow. So what's the technology story there? How have they conjured that up?
He starts off using his iPad Pro just to kind of capture some drawings, that kind of stuff, about how he thinks that buildings of the future could look. And then he overlays a new, perhaps you say, for example, the rooftop car park moves away and there's a bunch of solar panels up there. There's an urban rooftop garden. The massive car park shrinks down and there's lots of little electric car charging points. So you see this building transform. But what he actually does is he uses augmented reality to bring that layer to life. So for example, at the exhibition, when you approach this exhibit, it looks like an ordinary collection of paintings that you would see in any gallery, beautifully put together. But they all come to life using augmented reality. You see suddenly all of the different electric car charging points suddenly appear, then shrink down and disappear again. And it's a constantly changing GIF, so that really draws your eye in. And because it's constantly moving, it really entertains the eyes and it keeps you transfixed, and you really start to pick out all of the wonderful things that he's trying to teach you about the green buildings of the future.
How does the augmented reality work? Do you stand in front of it with your smartphone and it gives you that layer, that futuristic layer that way? How does it work?
That's absolutely right. So you can use any smartphone, and it just at the moment you can do 2 things. You can either just use your Facebook camera, so you either put in a short URL or scan a QR code and just put your phone up against the painting and it suddenly comes to life. The other way of doing it is to download something called Artivive, and that's an app that's available on the App Store. And again, you literally just open up the app, point at its painting, and it comes to life.
In the past, we've talked about Google's Tilt Brush, for instance, which is this wonderful like augmented reality painting app. Have you managed to work that into any of the art pieces this time?
Tilt Brush, not so much. This year for virtual reality, we have a microplastics experience where you journey, you become tiny and you journey into the human stomach. And around you, you're surrounded by these nano creatures, which are tardigrades, which found in space, in lava flows, in the ice, in the Arctic. And sadly, it's also been proven that these tiny microscopic creatures are also ingesting microplastics. And that's yet another way that these microplastics are getting into our water. And it's been proven that recently a study of people. Every single person in the study had microplastics in their system. Every single one. So you enter virtual reality, you're completely immersed, you're floating around, and all these things are around you, and using your controllers, you have 60 seconds to shoot as many pieces of microplastic as you possibly can, and as you shoot them, it tells you where it's from. Oh, that's from a plastic bag, that's from a straw, that's from an old discarded t-shirt, etc., etc. And at the end, it tells you how many pieces of microplastic you managed to kind of shoot, and it also tells you some very sobering facts about microplastics. So again, using that kind of formula of engaging, entertaining, but then hard-hitting facts that actually need our collective action.
That is Kay Vasey in Singapore, and the goals she mentioned there at the top were the Sustainable Development Goals, so the ways of exploring sustainability through augmented reality and all these other means. We talked quite a lot in the main interview about augmented reality. So I just wanted to know from Kay really where she sees the future for augmented reality, and she had this to say.
I must say augmented reality is here to stay, and I know it's not ubiquitous yet, but I really think it is going to be. The fact that what we're doing is obviously using it for edutainment purposes, showing people these important messages, adding a little bit of a fun layer, an interactive layer, but then having that hard-hitting message at the end. But I also think that just simply in our daily lives, going about the world using your smartphone as the device that you don't even have to tap into anymore. You don't even have to use your thumbs to search. You open up whatever it is that you want to scan, your scanning app, whatever you're using, and it's going to tell you information overlaid on the real world. So I look at the television and I'm like, oh, what's that top that lady's wearing? Oh, I can find out instantly and then instantly go and buy it. Or I can find out, here's one recycling bin, show me a virtual map that takes me to the next one. So there's going to be all sorts of amazing information at our fingertips, but even easier without even having to use a search function. You're just going to be able to hold your phone up and it's going to give you that informative digital layer.
That's Kay Vasey, just for you, dear. Kay Vasey.